Said my ancestors did it for me. Ancestors did it for me. Ancestors did it for me. Ancestors. I am not asking your mission. I am not asking your permission. I am not asking your mission. I am not asking your permission. Hey, you ain't gotta go home, but you gotta go. You're too low, so low, you don't hear me though. You ain't playing, trying to drain all my energy. Well, I done told you you could come for me. I'm too high for you to get me down. Said I'm too high for you to get me down. Down, down. Be gone, vampire, be gone. Be gone, backbiter, be gone. Gone. I said my ancestors did it for me. You demons try to get a little chubby. I'm playing chess, you playing generally. I thought I told you not to come for me. I remember back in the 1990s, we were rocking Kangos and Adidas with shell toes, and everybody knew LL wanted to be bad. Then Biggie got shot, and all that shit happened with Tupac. Meanwhile, I was somewhere getting supersonic with JJ Fad. I was still a youngin', still up and coming, and I had all that wild streak up in me. Prince said, party like it's 1999, and me and my partners was smoking weed like we was out of our minds. That's when the year 2000 was coming in, when the 90s had to go, and I was stomping through South Carolina, dropping spoken word like, where did the 90s go? Give it up for Lioness. Then I would take the stage. Said I would take the stage and pay homage to my ancestors. Then I would head back to my crib and listen to some Bob Marley or some Burning Spear or some Sister Nancy. Bam, bam. Then I was on my way through the VA and they was getting money out there. I remember that night I was spitting poetry at Shadows and Allen Iverson gave me a standing ovation. Yeah, a lot of celebrities got my shit in heavy rotation. Poetry spitting, reggae chanting, sweet singing, fire breathing, lion. And I ain't lying. So I'm out in VA, right? Poetry slamming, doing reggae shows, bumping elbows with them Marley boys, with Sizzler, Capleton, Beanieman, Antonio, Yellowman, and Lincoln Granulated Sugar Miners. See, I've been around, I ain't new to this. I could have had a record deal 10 times over. But I'm not here to make a deal with my record, because my record is impeccable. They doing white lines, lining up for punchlines, and if one of them rap battle dudes take mine, oh, I will sue you. Boy, now, I ain't a rapper, I just rap a lot. Somebody said, ain't she like somebody's grandma? Sit down, granny. Sit down, granny. Bitch, you sit down. I ain't rocking granny panties. I'm like Victoria, the best kept secret. My style, like Rent-A-Center coming back for your furniture. You can't keep it. That good green, cheap it. You haters coming from a mile away, keep it. You in the twilight zone. I'm home alone. But even Macaulay Culkin won't stop till he get enough of this thriller. I'm the bad vibe killer. I'm locked and loaded with a lot of old goons. Cause his chopper clears the path. You do the math. That's your body, mine is your head. Like a zombie chicken walking dead. I thought I told you my ancestors was warriors, but they didn't come to play. They came to slay. Butts in the ashtray, smoked. True identity cloaked. Moving like anonymous. These lyrics are autonomous. I thought I told you. I thought I told you. I thought I told you. Wow. Hey, said I'm too high for you to get me down. Said I'm too high for you to get me down. Down, for you to get me down. How high am I?
Hello, most dearest ones. This is Sitara coming to you live and in effect. We are about to get this way started, way up in here. I'm a little on time, but then I'm not on time, and then you know how it goes. So look, let's just say this right now. This is about to be a lit session. If you ready to get vibed up, if you ready to go all the way in with self, if you just ready to figure out what is your block, your barrier, or your bondage, we about to go all in. So I say, yes, God is supreme. We're gonna give you a shout out right now. We are going to the next hit of Sister Fire's music. Her name is Afrodeity Stone. You can look her up. She's got her own website. She's on YouTube. She's on Facebook. She's on Twitter. She is everywhere a goddess wants to be. So I'm gonna play one more song of hers, and then we're gonna go into the topic at hand. And the song is Remember.
Do you remember who you are? Do you remember that you lived amongst the stars? You might not believe just who I am. You might not believe it. You wouldn't believe it, yeah. I am a God, it's in the flesh. I made a deal to come down here and show you how to live your life to the fullest. Don't let life just pass you by. Do you remember who you are? Do you remember that you lived among the stars? Life's too short to be getting in your own way. Life's too short to be playing all these games. Life's too short to be getting in your brother's way. Life's too short. Let me say it again. Do you remember your past life? How do you know that you weren't a warrior who had to fight? How do you know that you weren't a king? You were a king, and she was a queen. And do you remember who you are? Do you remember that you lived among the stars? Life's too short to be getting in your own way. Life's too short. Do you hear what I say? Somebody sound the siren.
Calling all the guardians of the planet. It's about to go down.
Somebody sound the siren.
Sound the siren.
Free the dirty Babylonians. The fire of the one. Wicked Babylonians. Judgment are run. Dirty Babylonians. The fire of the one. Wicked Babylonians. Mama, shoes begging bread, daddy have enough things on his head. All the pickaninny coulda dead be hungry. Granny dead, she a dead be hungry. Come like you blind, you no see what I want. It's time, you no see what I want. Lord of happy bun, wicked Babylonians. Judgment a run, dirty Babylonians. The fire happy bun, wicked Babylonians. Sister, killing a person that the gun she know how to she need. And all her friend, Monday I yard, so she vex cause her Monday have her hand. Babylon, promote such a thing, fire burn Babylon and them thing. Lord of mercy, she gone fetch with fish, and the ghost she a think it's stylish. Dirty Babylonian. The fire happy bun, wicked Babylonians. Judgment a run, dirty Babylonians. The fire happy bun, wicked Babylonians. It's time to stop this respect, Jaja. I said it's time to stop disrespect, Jaja. Fire burn, Babylon, Babylon, and the Babylon thing. Fire burn, Babylon, Babylon, and the Babylon thing. Fire burn, Babylon, and the Babylon thing.
There we go. There we go. Oh, yes, yes. Just man, high vibes, high vibes. Thanks, King Newt. Peace out to King Newt. Peace out to Supreme Goddess. Thank you so much for joining me on this platform, on this stage. I have dropped a link if you'd like to come up. So we are discussing, discussing, I might add, the bondage, barriers, and blocks. Now we're talking about the things that have blocked you, barriers that have blocked you, bondage that has blocked you or kept you in a loop. So let's get started. So I just want to say, you know what, shout out to just the beings that are getting ready to come in and getting ready to share. Oh man, like we just got to you know, just sometimes you just got to go in even though you feel like you don't want to, or you know, you feel like maybe you shouldn't go in. You know, sometimes you just have to go in. It just won't matter. It just won't matter what you're thinking, that you done told yourself that you don't have to go in. You know, you're a little apprehensive about going in, but you know that you must go in. You know you have to go into this place that has left you a rot, a R-O-T. Hello, Sister Ty. Peace out, Sister Ty. Thank you for showing up, sister. The title I'm getting ready to go into, the sharing and the carrying information we're getting ready to go into is bondage, barriers, and blocks. So one thing here. So you must know that I have looked up the words, you know, and looked at them again, looked at them in the dictionary. And I chose bondage, blocks, and barriers. And I must tell you, because it just happened that way. It's not because I just want to, or just that I you know, I thought that was it. No, it just came. It just flowed in. I'm just tell you that. Look, I was wanting to do another topic because I was like, this topic too much. It's too deep. But that's not the point of this conversation right now at all. So what is a bondage? What is bondage? So I looked up the etymology. Hey, peace at the Huey P. What's up, Huey P? We on a title of bondage, barriers, and blocks right now. So if you think about a bondage, if we had bondage, if we want to do the etymology, and if you need to look that word up, I'll post it in the session below at the bottom or during the chat. You'll be able to look that word up. We have the etymology of bondage. Okay, it's to dwell, bond. It also says a laborer you working. You the one that's working. That's what a laborer is. To bond work on a lord's estate. A lord's estate. So you got to figure out who your lord is of your estate. I hope you know who it is. So it can be a tenant farmer. So you may be tilling somebody else's ground if you're in bondage. Okay. So you may be building what is called a customary tent. That's some major words right there. Okay. That's some major words. A barrier is something that can be fortified, a fortification. So if you go through that, you will, if you look these up, you're going to find them. It's not a mystery. So we want to go on to the synonyms of what these words are. For bondage, it's slavery. The word slavery comes up. Synonyms for barrier, a bar, a hurdle. Synonyms for blocks, it would be bricks. Okay, so if you understand that you have been in any one of these directions or within any of these parts, know that you are not the only one. Know that you and others that have similar situation as you are going through the same, that there are others such as you who are going through many of the same. I dropped the link, so if you would like to come up, please come up, because I'm pretty sure more than enough people, beings on this planet, have this going on for them. If not now, before. If not before, in the future. You may hit upon a block, a barrier, or bondage. We getting ready. We discussing what you need to dispel. What do you need to get rid of to get out and get ahead of these bondage, these barriers, and these blocks? What do you need to get out? What do you need in your safety tool, your knapsack, your first aid tool, your toolkit? What do you need to get out ahead and beyond any bondage, barrier, or block? So I'm just going to tell you this. Look, this is a plain and simple to the truth. First tip, you could think about this. Speaking with intention. Okay? Because you already just said that, I have some knowledge of a bondage, a barrier, or a block. I have some of that. I know I have that as an issue, or I've had it as an issue. Do you know who is the bondage, the barrier, or the block? Are you the bondage, barrier, or the block? Or is it others around you that has successfully created bondages and barriers and blocks towards you, around you, under you, over you, and through you, within your soul? Do you know where that's at? Are you able to locate from where this bondage, this barrier, and this block is coming from? And then I'm going to tell you, once you know where it's coming from, you can get on to the part of dispelling it. You to get rid of it, to no longer be a part of it, to no longer give it your permission. How about that? How about you just decide that you're going to take away a bunch of permission that you gave it? You didn't even know you gave it the permission. This is the other part. You didn't even know you gave it permission. You didn't even know that was a part of what's going on. You had no clue that you had given someone besides you permission to incorporate a bondage, a barrier, or a block within you, around you, or through you, or by you. You might have gave it permission because you might have felt like there was nothing else for you to give. You might have gave it permission because you forgot so much about how this is no longer your life. You might have forgot that this was your life. You might have forgot about that. I'm going to tell you, like, when you're forgetting about things like that, It's about time. It's about space. It's about right place. That you know right now you are in the right place, that you are aware that you are in this space and that you have not made any moves toward being out of bondage. You know, do you know where you at? Do you know where you're going to? Okay. I know someone has heard that's that song. You know, somebody someone that you know has heard this song. Do you know where you going to? Do you like the things that life do you even think or know or understand what life is giving you? Do you understand that you have possibly gave this information to yourself? Yes. It's about time that you just become entiendes, as it's in the Spanish language, that you understand that you no longer give other beings permission to have bondage over you. That is not a part of this game anymore. That is not. God is supreme. Thank you so much for putting up the complete definition there. It's a circumstance or obstacle that keeps people or things apart or prevents communication or progress. I said that real slow because it's preventing. It's a circumstance, an obstacle, okay, that keeps people or things or apart or prevents communication or progress. Have you known when someone has just created an obstacle with their language, with their body language? Look, this is unspoken. Because thank you, yes, God is supreme. This is communication. So communication is not only just what you say, it's body language. It's the frequency you putting out. It's the way you dart your eyes at somebody, at someone in your vicinity. So I'm going to just say that again. It is not only the words that are coming out of your mouth, because that's all I can think about right now. It is not only that, but it is frequency. The very thoughts that you are putting within your mind. Yes. The very thoughts that you are receiving from others and yourself. And yes, thank you. God is supreme is on it. She on the next definition. Yes, you all in alignment with what I wrote. A blockage is an obstruction which makes movement or flow difficult or impossible. We got this. We must repeat that. A blockage is an obstruction which makes movement or flow difficult or impossible. Okay? Impossible makes it difficult. Makes you want to move certain ways that you have not before. Makes you feel like you in a corner, like somebody has cornered you or something has cornered you. And you can't come out, but you only think you must come out with just fighting with your hands. You have forgot about the inner being of you that knows how to do this, that knows what to quote unquote fight with or assist you with. Sometimes you got to outthink the thinkers. Okay? So yes, God is supreme. Once again, yes. Movement flow is energy. N-I-N. It's inside now. And don't forget your energy, because it's all about you and what you flowing. So God is supreme. Thank you so much. She on to the third one. Yes, I got this. Thank you so much. I don't have to look at all the notes. Thank you. I received that. Bondage is the state of being bound by or subjected to some external power or control. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hold up. Okay, let's just I almost want to take a moment of silence for that. Bondage is the state of being bound by or subjected to some external power or control. So if it's external, that means that's not you, that's not you. That's not fully coming from you. That it can be coming from other places, other people, other things, other situations. And once again, yes, God is supreme. All of it. Yes, girl. She says it on the mark. X marks the spot. Look, external power, ego. That could be one of the outer things that's a part of what we're talking about here. So the first thing, one of the first tips that God is supreme already went over is look. She said it at the top. Communication. Body language. The way you move your eyes. The way you grab at something. The way you put your hand on your hip. The way you take your hand and you cover your eyes, or you cover your ears, or you cover your mouth. The way you grab your chest when someone has said something that you disapprove or you approve of, because you might be doing it in excitement. The one thing that I know for sure, and I know this just because I'm going to tell you, I know this one I know for sure for me, that an obstacle or a circumstance that keeps people or things apart or prevents communication or progress most indefinitely can be temporary. Okay? So if you must understand at least one thing of this conversation before we proceed to the other side, the polarity part of this conversation, the other pole of this conversation, which is we're at bondage, barriers, and blocks. You got the 3B's. They can be like best friends. They can be like your mama. They can be like your brother. They can be like you. They can be your sister. Like, you must understand that it's just not only just labels and titles, and it goes beyond. What are you putting out that you don't recognize that it's been in your system for so long that you've gotten so used to it being there? What are you paying attention to in your own yard? What are you coming from within? What are you tethering to? What is attached to you? What is attached to you? Do you know what is attached to you yet? And I'm gonna drop the link because I'm not even. Oh man, this subject is not a one being subject. This is a multi-being subject. Before we go to the other side of this communication, of the other polarity of this whole conversation, before we get to the part of yes, I can do this, or yes, I'm gonna make it, or yes, this is just the end of that and something else new to begin. Before we get to that part, before we get to the tips and the tricks of being on planet Earth, before we get there, you might have to remember and understand that you might have to vacate some things, some people. You might have to be not with them. You might have to figure out how you're going to be with them a little bit less and be with yourself more. That's exactly where we're coming from right now. Do you understand that you are the one that is ready to move on? That you know that it's time, and you going through it in your mind, and you struggling with it in your mind because you don't know. You think you don't know. You've been going back and forth, and you rolling this back and forth in your yard. It's messing up your whole yard. It's messing up the scene. It's messing up the way you feel. It's messing up the way you see things within yourself. It's messing up the way you functioning in all your situations. The way you're responding. Have you just remembered to forget to remember that you are the captain of your ship? This belongs to you. Do you even understand that the things that have been put here, many of them things are barriers. They have become barriers to you. You have forgot to remember that these things are not new. That you probably done went over this already. I'm just saying, do you remember? You might not just believe, you might not just know yet, but you have a feeling that the path that you're on is about to change. You can feel it. You are in just only the flesh. It's a temporary moment. It's a temporary situation. Remember that all of these things are just temporary. You're just borrowing a lot of things here. We're just gonna put it out there. I hate to tell you this part. I almost even hate to tell you. You borrowing everything. You can't take the car with you. You can't take your kids. You can't even take your kids with you. You can't take your shoes with you. You can't take the food. You can't take the rent. You can't take your house. You can't take your bills. I mean, like, you can go down the list. You can't take that new plasma TV you just bought. You can't take your iPhones. Where you about to go, you cannot take any of those things. And I would just tell you, for me, I don't want them. You can't even take the avatar, the skin, the body that you're in. How about that? How about them? How about knowing that information? None of these things can go with you. So what's left? What falls away after that? What's the next part? What you taking with you? Shoot. What you taking from planet Earth? What parts of this piece? What parts of these earth you taking? Ask yourself, do I really know myself enough to know that all these things, when all these things shed away from me, I know who I am? Can you say that? Can you say that you know who you are? Can you say without a shadow of a doubt that you know who you are? That you have been given love to yourself beyond degrees of knowing? Can you say that? Then you are ready for the next part of this discussion, which is all of that falls away. It sheds off. It falls away. Your avatar, your vessel that you're in right now, it's gonna shed away. What you have on the inside is what is gonna matter here. And I'm not talking about heart and bones and none of those crystals am I speaking of right now. So if you don't know what that is, then you might want to go back to the beginning of this video after we're done and listen to the music at the beginning. Aphrodite Stone, peace out to her. She, peace out to that goddess right there, Aphrodite Stone. She has a website. You can pull up her music and buy it, actually. I bought some. You can buy it. You can, she has a couple of freebies on there, to speak. But for right now, are you able to know that you are the piece that's missing? That you forgot to include your own piece in all these situations that you've been going through. All this bondage you've been going through. All this bondage you've been going through. And you just forgot to include yourself. But now it's time to remember. Remember that you forgot that. It's about being in the right place, and you in the right place. You on planet Earth, you in the right place. You ready to advance. Now, many of the things that have been put here are in service of to keep you in bondage and to assist you with being in bondage. You don't have, you don't have to believe me. Just look at your own life. Just look at your own life and know that this is what we're speaking of. That you are the one that makes the most impact in your life. Not these other people that you've given your power over to. Because even your power that you've given over to them is an illusion for them and an illusion for yourself. It's more about what you're doing with your power on the inside. What you giving yourself. What are you giving yourself? And what kind of degrees of giving yourself are we speaking of? Can you know that this love that you seek, it's not in a man, it's not in a woman, it's not in this new dress, this new car, it's man, whoa, buddy, like it's not in none of those things. It's nowhere near in any of those things. When you start realizing that the power of you commands you, when you start knowing what that is and knowing what that feels like and how you are pushed, I'm telling you, no one's gonna be able to come along and knock you off your stoop again. They ain't gonna come on your porch and mess around. They not gonna be allowed. You're not gonna have it. And it's not gonna matter what they say. It's not. Because right now it's about the power in you, the power of your words, the powers that you speaking from within. It's about taking command. It's about knowing that you have the ability to command. Let me repeat that. It's about you understanding that you have the ability to command. To command what is going on in your space. To command what is going on in your life. But first, you might want to speak on it with intention. So we're going to go into the tension. We're going to go into intent. We're going to see if we fully understand the intention, the intent from which we're coming here, from what we're saying, from what I'm putting out here. This is some powerful. It's a power. When they tell you power in your words, you know, when someone is telling you that, when someone's saying there's power in the words that you speak, when someone tells you that, you should understand that you have it, that you know what it is, that it's a real big to do to know that you have the power, that no one else can come along and take it from you, or, you know, unless you're giving it up, you're giving it away, you're giving it up for grabs. Are you giving your power away? Are you giving it up for grabs? I just dropped the link again, so if anyone would like to join, please check the link. Let me know if it works, because I cannot tell. I'm trying to check while I'm talking. So, but anyways, here we go. Look, everything comes to you within divine timing. Look, now let me tell you something here about divine timing. Divine timing is when you just know it's going to happen, and it doesn't matter what it is, okay? It won't matter what the obstacle is. I could give you a simple obstacle today. One of my people called me They had went to their appointment. They were told, oh, you don't have this certain form. You don't have this certain document. We can't do nothing for you. And then they go to thinking how, they already went and checked this information, and they already know that they've been told that everybody that goes on this link is 6 months to that appointment. And this person is saying they want to start where they're from. They want to start school soon. They want to do this soon. They want to get in soon. And they don't know how it's going to happen. And the first thing I say is, look, first of all, you need to quiet your mind. Because your mind is outrunning you. That your mind is taking over you. It's taking over this situation right now. It's not giving you the full extent of what you need to seek or see. So I'm just going to tell you to do a check-in with yourself. That you know that this is not your type of party, or that that this might be your type of party. So look, first of all, quiet your mind. Second of all, what do you want to get out of this situation, or where you going? What is the goal? What is the command you need to speak? What's the command that you need to speak right now? Do you know what you need to command? Oh yeah, you needed this, you needed that, you need to go to the link. First of all, before you go to this link, I'm gonna tell you, you need to be on point. You need to be knowing that you are only in a uproar because you're seeing how this could affect everything you've been thinking in your mind. And I'm gonna tell you, look, like wholeheartedly, look, what I'm speaking of is a simple situation. Hey, peace at the Smokers Lounge. Peace. Thank you so much. Nice to see you. I'm gonna give a shout out to the Smokers Lounge. Oh, how are you? How are you? So look, this is where we at. I told them to quiet their mind. I said, you need your mind to quit chattering while I'm about to tell you what I'm about to tell you. They went one more time. They said, but I've been told that it's 6 months to get an appointment. And I said, you need to quiet your mind right now. This is the first step. What do you need to have happen right now? Oh, I need to get an appointment. Okay, but when do you need this appointment by? I need an appointment by the July the 6th. I said, okay, then that's what you need. You sure? That's the date you want? Yes. Look at the calendar and stare at that date right now. They stared at the date. They said, okay, I got the date in mind. They didn't even tell me the date until after we got done. Till after this. I knew, it was that type of party. But anyway, so I said, go online, make your appointment. They go online. They like, oh, it's not working. Get off, go back in there again because it's going to work. You need a soon date? We're going to get you the soon date. So they go in, they link in. And guess what? Not only did they get the link to a sooner date, they got July the 1st instead of July the 6th. They get to go in before the 6th, which is the 6th is when the school and everything happens for them. That they know that, and they were so discouraged. They were talking against the whole situation. They created their own block, their own barrier, their own bondage. They created that whole thing before they even started talking. And I said, look, first of all, you're going to have to shut your mind up. I'm sorry to tell you like that. You're going to have to make that chattering box is going to need to be quiet. Because if you have the mind of a chatter mind, it just talks over you. You can't even hear your own thought. You can't even hear the thought that you've been wanting to hear that since 2 days ago. If you have a chatter monkey mind, I'm just going to call it that because I have not a word for that. So they decided to stop the chatter. They decided to calm down. They decided to go on the website. They got the appointment before school starts. They received the appointment for that when they were told specifically that the appointments were 6 months out. And then on top of this, while they just received their appointment, they're on the phone with me. Their counselor calls them back and says, hey, can you let me know when you have your appointment so I can set you up so you can come in? Woo! Shut up. So when I am telling you about knowing what you know and commanding and speaking, I'm speaking fully from an intentional space of knowing. How about that? That is the intention. The intention is knowing right now. The intention of knowing where this space is. The intention of knowing where you're about to go. And that where you are about to go is already here. So, you know, you just have to get in the space of it's here with me right now. We're not going to pretend it's here. We're going to know it's here. We're not going to fake it till we make it. No, we know it's here right now. I don't know how many songs you can play. I don't know how many mind concepts you're going to have to give yourself to understand and understand this information. But I'm just going to tell you, it's in your best interest to learn how to undo many of these chains that have been placed upon you, that you have even put upon yourself. Many of these barriers that you have placed upon yourself. That you understand and understand that these barriers no longer need to be there. They are of no use to you. Their time is worn out. You done overused them. You don't need them anymore. You feel stronger within yourself. You don't have to go back to any of that. So case in point, I have a young lady right now who's making t-shirts and all this. And you know, it involves the other part of this of what I'm talking about involves practice. That's where I'm going to with this piece that I'm about to say is practice. So I'm going to show you this shirt that this young lady, she's working on her own things. Another being that needs to be told, like, get out your own way. You got this. Let's see. Can you see it? Okay, so she made me this shirt. Look. It says Cosmic Pop Star. Okay. It was just so she could get practice as to what she's doing right now. That's all that was for. She knows what to do. She has many styles on there. She has many ways and avenues of going on her system. So if you need a t-shirt, I'm going to put her link, her email at the bottom. I believe she's going to be charging $20 at this point. But you never know. Her price may go up a couple of dollars. But you know, I'm just saying. You mentioned that you saw it on Sitara's Love. She'll probably give it to you for $20. She's making these shirts and other things. She can make it onto a cup. It doesn't matter what it is. The young lady is very strong with it, creativity. She just needed to be reminded of that, right? Yes, much muscle. Thanks, Smoker Lounge. That's right. She had to figure out what her muscle was. Is at this point, it's her brain. It's her mind. You know, it's your mind is a powerful thing. You know, I used to watch this little commercial on TV. Your mind is a terrible thing to waste. And you know the other one. This is your brain on drugs. They put an egg in the skillet, and it's frying. But you know, do you know that your brain can get fried like that from just dealing with stress? You don't need to use any drugs nowadays to get your brain fried. Stress can do that for you. So look now. We're gonna go to this other part here, you know, because we own this part about what we're gonna do to move away from having a barrier or a bond or a blockage. We own that now. We moving and we grooving into this other section for us. We must know that we are moving into the other section, and right now it's gonna be all about intention. Okay. It's all about intention. Okay, so we own the intention. We know that we have much intent about what we're saying right now. We know that we are going forward with intention. So I'm gonna say this. I like to look up the etymology of words. That's just my thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I do. So an intention or intent is most definitely a aim or a plan. Hello, Huey P.
Heaven high, goddess. How you doing? How you doing?
I am well.
Yes, you are, and you're doing amazing, doing amazing. Yes, I'm loving it,
Thank
loving it. Just came up just to show you some support. You know, I seen the link up. Nobody come up. I just came to just show some support. You know.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for everything you doing.
You're gonna give us a tidbit at least of a barrier or
Oh
a
yeah,
bond.
you know, I'm gonna get in. I ain't gonna get everything. I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna give you some. You know, I'm gonna give you a little something. I'm gonna come in. I definitely gonna
Yeah.
come in. I'm gonna just make it teach. I didn't want to just come in the middle of your where you was at.
Oh no, I have the unique ability to pause where I'm at and not feel like you are intruding because I've learned how to pause and just let someone speak if they need, if that's where it's at.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Now I'm just loving everything that y'all got going on, everything got going on, and I was looking up the chakra information, and yeah, everything is very much needed, man. Y'all doing great work. Just keep it up, man. You definitely need this, and it's about what you doing. At the end of it all, it's about what you and me doing. And we the same thing, so it's like we doing it. Keep it going. I'm loving it.
Yes. So we
Yes,
on
I mean I'm really loving it. I'm loving the it factor. I'm loving
the
it.
it,
Everything
right?
about it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Look, I I have to say, without having all the bondage and barriers and blocks that I've experienced, I would not be able to speak on it. I would not feel as confident about it. I wouldn't be able to wrap my whole arms around it and be like, and just be. And like, I'm about to go through it. And if I don't have to go through it, and I know I don't have to, I will pause it and be like, I'm good. It could go over there on the side somewhere. I don't have to do all that anymore. So when you know you don't have to do things anymore that aren't in your line, that aren't in the agreement of who you are and what you do that. You move it aside. It's not a big question. And if it's that big of a question, that means it's something that's overpowering you and taking over you instead of you doing exactly what you want to do or exactly where you know you need to go. I'm not saying this just because I'm just saying it. I'm saying it because I have experienced this beyond degrees. I would not like to sometimes even think about. I'm being honest. Some of these things that I have experienced, I would be like, I would never want to tell us all about that because that's just trauma. And I'm going to live that trauma again. No, negative. I won't live the trauma again, even more so now. If I were to speak of any of the things that I experienced, I would more so be in a state of this is power. And I would come from the place of power that I have experienced in each part of what I'm speaking of. Peace at zero in the infinity, sir. Thank you so much for coming around. We are speaking on bondage, barriers and blocks right now. So
I
thank
love
you
that
so much for
because
coming
just like you
on.
said, the 3B's. Like you said, the 3B's and the bondage, right? This is the age of being bound, and what we are bound to do, or what was bound to happen. And when most people realize what this bondage is about, just like you said, are you the one that's bound, or are you being bound? You know what I'm saying? Or being controlled, or maneuvered by something else other than yourself, or are you the one that's pushing the bondage? You know what I mean? Are you controlling the bond? Because everything, like your word should be your bond if you the living, walking word. You know what I mean? Like you should be bound by that. You know what I'm saying? And hold everybody accountable to what you are representing or standing for. Because this is the reason why we're here for, man, was just to stand for, man. And once we get it, we'll know that we had to have barriers and hurdles or blocks. Blocks can be utilized for different things. You can build with blocks. You can use barriers to keep intruders from being getting in. So it's about what you seeing everything for. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know how we might have a garden with fresh fruits in there, but we don't want the wild animals to get in. So we might want to use those barriers to keep to protect our habitat and our eating arrangements, or whatever it may be. So it's like, man, everything was put there for us to utilize it for something. Like even the bad, you can find something good and to do it. It's about what you're utilizing it for. Just like a gun can be for protection, but you can use it to do something wrong. A stick as well, a knife. You know what I mean? It's like, man, your mind, the power itself. We can utilize the power of knowledge itself for something good, or we can utilize it for the other shit. You know what I mean? So it's just like, man, what you see in your life for and where you at, because you know that all what is it? Everything is happening. All opportunities is still it's happening when you don't think it is. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, we can think it's just being what we see, but it's something else is going on. What we think was capable or possible of happening is always possible. That's what the impossible is about, because it lets you know that I'm possible. When you see that the impossible is just letting you know that I am possible. You know what I'm saying? It's just like what's not possible when you've seen it and done it all. It's like, man, we'll get it. We will really get it, man, and start really connecting to what we need to connect to, and putting the right energies or blowing up the right things, like blowing you up. We got to make sure that we're giving your life energy. You feel what I'm saying? Because just as well as, you know what I mean? Instead of shooting down what they call busting each other's bubbles all the time. You know what I mean? Like, we ain't no need to bust nobody's bubble. It's meant to put air into it so they can float. We can all hold on to our own bubble and float. Like,
Man, oh, that was exactly what I wanted to say earlier. You said exactly what I wanted to say earlier, but it was like, just go ahead. But you see how I don't have to go to my notes all the way. Like what you're saying is a part of my notes. What you're speaking of is a part of my notes. I made like so many notes, and I'm just like, okay, I don't have to use them all. Thank you very much. You see how I pre-wrote, pre-planned.
right.
I'm not gonna do this. I'm just going with the flow. And that in itself is an example of what could be considered a barrier or a block. You know, something that's blocked or something that's a hurdle. But you know, hurdles can be jumped over. See, it's just like the way King QEP right now is saying, hurdles, you can jump over them. I have a nephew who definitely, that young man used to clear hurdles in 2.2 seconds. Now, if you let me try to do the hurdle, now I might not go as fast, but I'm gonna get over it. I'm not gonna let it just stop me. It's not gonna be just the thing that stopped me. You know, I'm just saying, like, nah, I'm not letting that go. You know, nope. It might pause me for a moment. I might get some strength from it. I might get some building from it. But then I'm just, hey, if I don't need it right now, I'm gonna just get out and get ahead. because there's a such thing called epigenetics. I'm gonna put it in the chat. If you get some time, you can go on let's see, good source is Billy Carson right now at Epigenetics. He speaks of epigenetics. He speaks of things that are placed in your surroundings. So you come in as a baby, a little tot, you coming in, woohoo, yeah, great. And at some point in time, people are told, if you have experience, if you're not, it'll be one thing or the other. At this time, I'm gonna just say it is the item of don't use your imagination. Stop daydreaming. Why you always daydreaming? Why you using your mind? So when I hear that, when I'm hearing that information, now I'm just like baffled as to why would somebody even tell someone not to use their imagination? Because at this point, your imagination has the most, if not one of the most significant creativity points in it. It is a part of the creativity process. Some people, they don't have to use too much of their minds to be as creative as they are. They don't have to use too much of their mind to get through their barrier, their block, or their bondage. But then there's some who need to overthink, underthink, through think, and by the time they get done, you just like, hey, did you get all your information? They'll be like, yes, I got it all. And I'm like, whoa, that was a lot of information to get. But you on your own thing. I'm not gonna get up there with you. I can't stand on your box. Let me just stand on mine, my space right here. Let me stand on my square, because my square is the best square for me. So when I'm talking about these bondages and barriers,
that is amazing.
Go ahead.
No, I just love the way you just said that, like standing on your square, because your square is for you. That's just like if everybody knew that they was on the chess piece or on a chessboard. Each piece got their own square that they holding on, and they uphold that space, and they really protect that space, and they embody what it is to be in that space, man. It's like, man, that is major, man. And the barriers within the box of that square, you know what I'm saying? And how you can jump over each square to get to the next square with just jumping over the barrier, or climbing over the hurdle, or climbing up the mountain to come down on the other side. With some of the Masonic brothers, I hear them be saying that's the same thing as they be saying, like going up on one side and coming down the other, like the sunrise on the east and set down on the west. It's like it's all right in front of our face, man. Like once we see it, that shit is so amazing. And it's like, just like you said, it ain't for some things might not be for everybody, but like what you saying is it's for me. You know what I mean? It's like it's for you. It's for you once you know that I am everything and you are everything once I am you. You know what I mean? So like when people they be trying to separate themselves from one thing or the other, with that's where they be losing the wholeness of themselves, because they only want to be this other aspect of themselves. When it's the wholeness that's missing, they don't want to be the other side of them that they don't like. You feel me? They trying to get away from the side that they don't like, but you got to know that was just a reflection of your light. So you got to do something with that insight, and you got to turn that insight to be able to see something good into that, so that insight can see the brightness in itself, so it don't feel so dim. It don't feel like a dim light. That's what's wrong with us. We give too much power to dim lights and make them dim. You know what I mean? Instead of making them be right and bright lights.
Yes. So as King QEP just most eloquently put, look, sometimes some of the things that I'm speaking of, they might not be for you. That's okay, but there might be something that you missed, or I missed, but I didn't miss it because it was just me talking about me. So you must know that any type of information that you're gonna get or receive, you're the one that get to make the decision of how useful you can use it, or if you're not using it at all. How about that? How much is it of use to you? Are you feeling like you need to be playing some checkers? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, playing checkers is the beginning stages. You know, learn how to play some checkers. You can pretty much learn how to mastermind your even pieces of your situation. You can put all your situation on a checkerboard. Put all your information on the checkerboard, and see which parts of the situation is your life, and see how to command it, how you can go beyond commanding it and solve the problem or the issue at hand. So if you don't know that you are definitely in the right place, and you've been playing chess and checkers with your life, I'm gonna tell you this. It's like you might as well go ahead and play some chess, because I'm gonna tell you something about playing chess. When you play chess, it's all about taking down, that one being, that one situation. That's how you can use chess in your situation. That's how you can use checkers in your situation. You can make all the pieces on the chessboard be the people in your life and see if they're useful or not for you at this time. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be hateful. But there's sometimes you don't need all those pieces that you think you need. Sometimes you do not. But we're gonna leave that at that. So look, let's just say this. For intensive purposes, for the most intensive of purposes here. Thank you, Hugh P, for coming up. I appreciate you so much. If you are ready to command, you ready to speak with intention, that you're knowing that your intention is your aim. That is your plan. Intention. It's your aim or it's your plan. Now, the synonym is a goal, a target, an object. So let's say that again. The synonym of an intention. Because we're speaking to the parts about we're getting ready to go into the land of commanding and knowing that you can speak with power and knowing that that's it and you can make that's it and be it and understand that that's it. See, this is the land of the space where few go. Okay? If you know that you are ready to speak with intention, you are ready to speak with a command, you're ready to command, you just must know that this is the first steps. These are the beginning steps. So I looked up the etymology. More importantly, I thought about intention. Not only did I think about it, I just understood and understood it to be like to be focus, like a focus point. Intention, you can make it focus, make it the point, make it the goal, make it the target, make it the object of what you're aspiring to do, be, in human life. So when you intend for something, you intend is it's your mind has a plan or it has a purpose. So first of all, we're getting ready to talk about speaking with intent. So if we are intending, we're putting intention. The other part is the root word for intend or intention is to turn one's attention. So we talk about intention versus attention and how to combine those two. So now we are intending to focus our attention. Let me say that again. We're intending to focus our attention. We're intending to focus our attention because we no longer need that over there. We're not stretching out for that anymore. So you must also understand the other part of this is when you have intent and you use intention and you focus that attention, it is stretching out. Notice all the words I just used had intention and attention. Those have tension in it. And the root words that are part of this, it says stretching out. So I'm speaking with intention, my mind, my being, my inside, whatever you want to aspire here is stretching out. I am stretching out. I am stretching out my intention and the intention. Okay? You are stretching the intention. So you're speaking with intent, which is power. You do not have a hesitation. You speak from strength. You only speak in terms of strength. You only know that you're speaking with intent, that you just know that part. You will be speaking with love. I'm pretty much saying me at this point. I'm going to speak it in love. I'm speaking with intention over what I'm speaking of. What my request is, I need to practice at it, right? So that's a part of this is practicing your intention, speaking with intention. So if you know that you're speaking with intention, one of the things can be that you are speaking to assist, build up, or you can speak with tearing down. So you must know your intention, know where forth you're going. That may sound like an old school word, but where forth, it's in a lot of words and language in this section. And we're only speaking in these terms of words because we don't people aren't used to using just spirit or just the vibe yet. They the frequency of that part is not come to pass yet. So we are getting ready to speak more so about the power to do so, to speak with intention and how to do so. So now we are on to the meat of the matter, as they say. We are on to speaking with the command, with power. Okay, so we're on to this word of speaking with a command and power, because we all know that there have been times that you needed to speak with power and you needed to speak with a command, and you had to do so because the situation called for it. And you had to understand that this is something that you needed to do. You didn't say, oh, I'm just going to go over and speak like this. Sometimes you have to speak with power in your voice. Sometimes. Now, we're not saying we're getting ready to be abusive with our power. Now, see, so let me just hold that part, because that part we're not using that. We're not in the section of being abusive with this. We're not in that section. Okay. So if you speak with a command, that means you're speaking with direction, right? You are giving direction to which forth you're speaking about. What you're speaking about, you're in the land of direction. That you know the direction of where you are speaking. This direction of where you're at. That you fully know. And you are well aware where you're going with what you're saying. So if you know this, if you know that you're speaking with this commanding, this intent, that you're speaking, not only that, you know, it's just power. If you know that your power is within, if you know that you are on this land and on this space of power, and you commanding it, because I used to, I would refer to a movie. Let's see, one movie. I don't know, Commando. In that whole movie, it was about him being a commando. So his daughter got, taken, kidnapped, whatever you want to say. And he had to take command. He had to command his power. He had to, with all intention, know where he's going. I got to go and get my baby. This is the other part. He had to go and get his daughter, and he had to know what that meant. So if you doing this, when you're speaking with a command, you're using your power. It's not made up. It's not as if you don't know that. And if you look up the word command, it says fully to give an authoritative order. So let's repeat that again. To give an authoritative order. You can order stuff at a restaurant. You can order things online. If your order come wrong, what do? You return it, don't you? You say, oh, that's an issue, you give it back. You make them redo that. So look, this type of commanding that I'm speaking of right now is you giving authoritative order to your intention. Like you speaking your intention through this command, through this power. Now, one of the things that I found funny on this is that it says all military or computing. So look, if you're going to say that we looked it up, we seen computing, does this compute? How do you compute? How do you command direction into your space, into your path? First, you speak with intention. And then secondly, you must know how to command. So look, if you're going to command, we got some synonyms here for you. Order, tell, direct. See, same information. It's not going anywhere. It's not moving around. It's telling you. And the COM, which is the etymology for command, is COM part, is expressing intensive force. Okay, now, without me even using the power word, I had already wrote expressing intensive force. So you speak with intensive force when you command, when you're speaking with intent. We're on to the part of speaking with force. We're on to the part of direction. So if we know the origin of the word command, it says order and direct with authority. You are ready to order and direct with authority. To go with that change, because there's another part of commanding. There's a change that happens when you're commanding something. When you're commanding a situation, or you're commanding power in your life. When you are commanding and taking power of the situation, you know you're going to have to make some steps, right? You know there's some steps. You know you just can't speak it, right? You know this part. You know that you cannot just say, I'm just going to command it and that's it. You know that it's going to require you to not only take on the spiritual inside of you and use it, but the lip service is going to have to be real. The lip service is going to require you to go to where you're going to have to speak and walk in the commanding. You got to know that when you are commanding something, it's just not going to, some of these situations not going to fall off right off the bat. But look, I'll tell you this, if you stand strong in your command and you stand strong and speak power and you say what you mean and you mean what you say, as they tell you. You know how the older generation, I'm not gonna say older, but I'm gonna say the well-seasoned folks, used to tell you, mean what you say and say what you mean. Now, you know, as a kid growing up, I would never know what that means. I was like, excuse me, I don't know what they're talking about. But wait a minute, let me see. Say what I mean and mean what I say. I'm going to say what I mean and mean what I say. If I say I am no longer doing this or I'm not doing that, that's what I mean. That's what I said. You can't question me. You can't come ask me. You can't send me a letter. You can't send me a text. You can't call me. You can't knock on my door and ask me that question. Because you're going to be shut down. It's a matter of speaking when you just must shut it down. You shut them down. You shut that situation down. So you speak with the thought of intention of where you know where you're going. And you must demand, respectfully command and demand the peace, the power, the discernment, the knowledge, the knowing. Like all of these things line up when you speak, and you speak with intention, and you speak in the commanding voice. You direct, you tell, you order, you change. 4 directions. That's north, south, east, and west. Oh, ooh. That is north, south, east, and west. You direct, you order, you tell, you change. You the only one that need to change. They don't need to change, because you know I'm gonna tell you why. Because they don't have to. That's not they get down. That's not they jam. They're not ready to go on up. They're not ready to go where you going. They not. They don't need to go where you going. Oh, you need to. Oh, look, you're the only being that needs to know where you're going. And why would you want others to direct you where you're going anyway? Unless they got one bit of this information, that's all you need from them. Nobody needs to do all the directing of your life. Like, you the director, you in the director's chair, you commanding, you in the intention space, you in the commander's space. That you have given it your all, and these beings have given it none. That they have shown you time and again that they are not ready to be speaking with command, and they're not ready to take control or power over their situation, their life. They're just showing you that. But you know, that's their thing. That's not yours. You the jam in your jelly. You the jam in the groove. You the groove in the jam. Oh, gosh. It just sounds like it's all one big ball of knowledge. But it's only you as the director. You are directing, and I must tell you, that is your power. No one can give you this. You must know it. No one can transfer it to you. You must open up that door and push that button. Push that button. Push the button. Push the button. And yes, people is going to get highly upset. Tell you now, you might as well forget it. They're about to get highly upset because they're going to be mad at you for you taking over your power, commanding your space, commanding your life. They're going to get mad at you because they're going to look at you like, why are you taking over and commanding your life now? What you doing all that for? And look, you don't even owe them an explanation once you do it. You don't owe them one lick of an explanation when you're taking intention and command over your space, over your life. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. This what I'm speaking of does not only involve you, because what's going to happen is when you do it, it's going to involve other people who can come along and say yes and be in agreement with you. Although you don't need it, It's just going to help you out. It's going to get you into the practice of speaking with intention and commanding. You know, I was listening to, Billy Carson today, and one of the things he was talking about today was knowing that you speak with intent, and knowing that you command, that you can command things that are, you're thinking they're out of your scope. You know, the only reason why you think these things are out of your scope or out of your reach is because you have been using their technology. Like right now, I'm sitting on their technology. Right now, I'm using their website. I'm using the phone. But I still need to understand that I am the one that's in the director's chair. They have dropped all these seedlings onto your crops, so to speak. And you the tenant farmer right now. You the tenant farmer. Like in the beginning, I said it's a tenant farmer. That's what the word, I said about bondage. A tenant farmer, a laborer. You laboring, and you giving, you applying all the fields, and you giving them the benefits. This is what's going on right now. You doing all the work. You doing all the watering. You getting all the seeds. You tilling the whole ground. And it's not your ground. You just gonna have to just move over to a new location and start tilling your own seeds, your own ground, and let these people know that they can't come on your land anymore because it's private property. That's all I can say about it. It's private property. It does not belong to them. You know, as you go forward in this commanding, in this intentional speaking, no one will be able to go beyond the barricades, the barriers, the blocks you have put up. You're going to put some blocks up for them because they're not going to come over here and just do what they want. It's not going down. And they're going to take their little scrunched up faces and their little attitudes right with them where they was coming from. That's not allowed. All that scrunchy face, we don't care. Just take it with you. Take it with you. You done came to the door. I answered the door. What else do you want? That's about all you getting. I'm on a house lockdown right now, and it don't involve nobody but me. Claim a lockdown of your own space. Imagine that. Claiming a lockdown of your own home. Imagine that. Telling people who can come in and be in your space. Imagine you take over and it's your space and you tell people, you can't come up in here like that, and I need you to exit. Well, how about you can't even come in till you get a better attitude when you come up here to be in my space, if I decide to think about letting you in? Yeah, that's what I'm just barely thinking about letting you in. I ain't even opening the door. I'm not even walking to the door to look out the peephole to see who's knocking. How about that? How about I'm in my own jam and I ain't worried about your jelly? Because I got my own jam to worry about. Okay. So as you know, as I say, look, the intention, we commanding. It's funny because I wasn't when I heard this, I wasn't thinking of talking about being in bondage and barriers. I was not thinking of any of that. I only thought enough to just think that, you know what? It'll come to me what I'm supposed to speak on right now. I don't know what it is. It'll come because I don't have to do too much to know what's going to come. Now, don't get me wrong. I looked at the words, did all the synonyms and everything. But that wasn't what I was going to speak about. I was just like, I'm just going to speak on it because I know about that. That just came. And that didn't come like soon. It just barely came a few minutes ago before I got on, which is the most weirdest and craziest thing. But it's not weird and crazy when you know the weird and crazy that happens in this planet already. All the things they're doing to your brain, doing to your environment, environment, you can jump through a bunch of these loopholes as you proceed to the next episode. The next episode is ascension. The next episode is powering yourself up. That is the next episode. Do you know that the next episode is not too far away? That it's in your space of where you are now. That you don't have to jump so far no more. Like, you don't have to jump out your yard. What you jumping out your yard for? These people, no, many of these people got so much stuff of their own to worry about. Why you jumping out your yard and not taking care of your yard for other people who don't even care about nothing that you're talking about or that you're speaking of? You must go. You must all the way knowing. You must know that you just come to a point where I don't care about that. I need to care about me right now. And this is not about just the selfish game. This ain't that type of selfishness. We talking about the selfishness where you are going to where you need to be. We talking about that type of game. That type of game. That game plan is your game plan. That's your direction. That's your director's chair. You run this ship. You have the power. You have the intention. You have the service that you want to give yourself, that you need to pay attention and give yourself that detail. These details that I'm speaking of are just, man, they can take you very much further. Very far within your mind, far within your speaking. This is not some type of trickery. The tricksters and the tricks is on the outside. You just have to worry about what you're doing inside of you. You have to worry about the space you keeping. You at this point focusing on yourself and focusing on the degree to which you need to go forward. That's all that needs to be known. What other people got when they cried about what you're doing and they don't like what you're doing and you done changed, you done made these adjustments for your life, for yourself, that is not your problem. Seriously. Like, that stuff is not your problem. I'm not sorry to tell you that what people think about you is none of your business. I'm not sorry to tell you that. That's whole intentional, purposeful command right there. Because if you don't take care of your own yard and let your leaves and the shrubs and you don't tend to the tender caring of your yard, which is you, what you think is going to happen to it? You think your yard going to be able to make it? You're not watering it. You're not putting seeds in it. You're not mowing the lawn. You just letting it go. And I know you drive past yards all the day, all the time. Where you at? If you ain't drive past now, I know you've seen a yard that's been unkept. Shrubs are all growing up around the whole system. They can't even get nothing done. You can't walk in there. So why would you purposely not till your yard and till somebody else's? There's a bunch of little things that we can say go into that, but you, at this point, you know what those all of them are. You know what those are. You know what many of them are. You got some old baggage you need to get rid of. You got some old baggage you were hanging on to for what? And giving yourself the whole rundown about why you were hanging on to this baggage. Why you hanging on to that abuse? Why you re-abusing yourself? Man, come on. You're re-abusing yourself for what? You signed up for abuse and ain't no one's giving it to you. You just playing the program in your head. So I'm going to tell you, look, you need to get rid of that old programming. You need to do away with that old thoughtless program that you have for yourself. You need to give yourself the intention and speaking with language of light on yourself. You need to know that you speak that every day. You can stop that chattering mind. That mind can stop chattering as you practice with the voice that I'm speaking of. You holding on to these old things that are doing you no good. They have served their purpose. You dragging out the purpose of these old mind thoughts, these old thinking. It served its purpose. You learned from it. There's nothing else for you to learn. You can see it. You can see how you holding yourself up. How you just not giving yourself the full attention. I'm just telling you, this is not what you think it is. This is all an illusion. And if it's all illusion, what I just said to you, you can jump through everything I just said and find what you need. Now, how about that? Everything I just said from right now, you can just jump all the way through and get what you need and be like, yep, I remember and I'm about to go and do that. Since you know that this is really an illusion and you know that we're under the paradigms of illusions, how about you learn how to get through some of those illusions with not having, with not having a life. Thank you, Ty. That's an old paradigm. That's what you call. Look, a paradigm is something that's just, look now, people. Look, you lovelies. A paradigm can be something that's an old paradigm, something that's an old of use, something that's an old mindset, something that's not viable use anymore. It's not viable. You can't use it. That's what viable means. I said it's not viable. That means you can no longer use it. It does not work. And it's not working because it's time to move it along. That's why it's not working. That's why it's being held back from you. That's why it's being in a enigma, so to speak, which is a puzzle. That's some old language. It's old philosophy. That's what paradigm, that's what that is. You must come accustomed to new paradigm, new language, new philosophy. If you're going to say you're going to change and I'm doing all this change and you still speaking the old language, who is that? That's still the same being. Where's the new philosophy? Where's the new language? Where's the new you? It's in there. It's not even new. The whole point is what I'm saying right now. It's not even new. It's just in there. You just haven't awakened it. You haven't stepped on the space of it. And when you step on the space, what I'm speaking of right now, you're going to be confident. There's not going to be anything that's going to bring you out or bring you down. I'm telling you now, once this happens, you ain't going to be able to go back either. So you might as well just forget about that part. And I'm going to tell you, not going to want to go back. You're not going to have any desires to be this old philosophy and this old language, what you grew up with, what people then banged into your head, and you just got it so deep in you that you feel like you can't let it go. And if you let go of that, maybe there's nothing else to you, but that's a lie. You need to know when you're telling yourself lies, or you listening to these lies that have been told to you that are not yours. These lies about you that aren't true. You know full doggone well what your intention is. You know what your intention is. You know what your commands are. If you have to sit quietly under a shade tree, sipping on some lemonade, because I don't know what else people drink, because I don't drink, so I don't know. But look, some water. If you just have to go sit under a shade tree and feel the breezes of the day to get into a new mindset, that might be something to do. Because what it's going to do is there's no chatter. And if the only chatter you're going to hear is yourself, then you can decide to make a decision to tell that to be quiet while you sit under the tree and enjoy your water or enjoy your tea or your lemonade. Putting light to your situation and giving you the dark matter, which is the energy, quantum physics, the quantum physics of what I'm speaking of right now. This is like the quantum physics basics part. And I'm only saying quantum physics as the word because you can't really you can't really put it into terminology sometimes. But this is the quantum physics of what I'm discussing. Releasing that old paradigm, that old language, that old philosophy, those old words that's serving you no more. Incorporating newness and waking up with vibrancy, waking up and breathing in your life. You will be beyond reborn. You will be made over into the new. You will be the new. And I'm not just saying N-E-W, I'm saying the K-N-E-W. It's like you knew this the whole time, but you just didn't act on it because you would not know how it would feel unless you did it. And it makes you to where you feel like you apprehensive enough to where you can't reach out for it. You can't stretch out to this because it's in your playground. You just haven't reached a wretch, as my grandma used to say. You haven't reached for this. You haven't stretched forth your hand. Stretch forth your hand and reach and grab your life with all intensive, all the cells in your being that's firing because you feel the fire burning within you right now. As I speak, I'm telling you, this is for somebody that's coming on. You're going to come straight to this part where I'm talking about fire in the bones, in your body, themselves. They regenerating. They coming anew. You speaking anew. You know the new, but you don't know how to say it, but you know it's in there. And once you get to this point, you're going to stand. You're going to cry because you forgot that you're supposed to be this way. You're going to see all the paths that you know you can take. All these people going to start seeing that path. The people that need to see that path, they already here. They just waiting on you to get into that position. I'm just telling you right now. They wait for you to get in that position of power that you've been lagging on because you forgot. But now you remember. Look, love of self is no substitute for anything else. How about that? How about the love of self is no substitute of anything else? Knowing thyself, that love that you have for self, embracing all parts of you, even the parts that you have denied, you will become stronger. You will become bound and loved within that. And that type of bounding and binding is different because it's a one that's going to raise you up. It is no longer your old philosophy. It is no longer your old language. The language of the quiet of you. The language of the quiet of your chattering mind. Your mind that has become quiet. While sitting under your tree. Can you tell from where I'm talking right now is the tree I'm talking about is you? We're talking about roots. We're talking about you pulled up all the roots that weren't needed and now there's clean roots around. You could walk around. You could be in the space of yourself in your head and know that space is for you. You must command it. So we have been on this whole time speaking with intent. We're speaking with commands. We are speaking with being the director. And if you know that you have not been the director and you're ready to be the director now, be the director. So I'm going to tell you, you got to direct, order, tell, and change. You've got to direct. You've got to order. You've got to tell, and you've got to change. But you cannot I can tell you, if you don't do it, you know what's going to happen. You already know the parts of that. That's already familiar to you. You're already so familiar with it, with these parts, this old piece, this old bearing, these old thoughts, this old doing, this old space, that you become so comfortable, within the comfortability of abuse, that you've become accustomed to being abused. And not only you become accustomed, but you even take in on the abuse of self. So this part, you just need to wave your hand. You know, you got to wave your hand, right? I don't know what kind of hand you're gonna wave. You got to wave it all the way and be like, look, I didn't went through too much. I've been through too much. I'm not about to go through this no more, and that's it. And anyone that comes asking or calling, or whatever you want to call it, they twittering you, they texting you, they calling your phone, blowing your phone up, knocking at you. Anyone that's doing that, tell them, hey, I don't have time for this. But what you doing? You don't have to worry about that. I got this. You got it. You just been waiting to hear that you forgot that you remember to tell yourself that. So I'm going to tell you now, we spoke of intention. We spoke of the command and power. And now we spoke of the old paradigm. So I'm going to post that for a quick second. That paradigm that is old, that's not serving you of any purpose. It's about time. That paradigm, it's about being in the right place, and you're in the right place. Let's just say that. Because I'm getting less and less away from that word time. It's about being in an infinite paradigm shift. That where you don't have to worry about what's next, because even if you do know what's next, you all too happy to be a part of that. You all too happy to be a part of the next part, the next shift of you. We talking about a paradigm shift, old philosophy. We talking about your old philosophy and your old language. You know, them people told you how to behave, and they told you how to treat your dude and how to treat your kids. You know, them people told you. But some of those ways that they told you, you did not agree with. And you've been practicing those ways this whole time. You've been practicing these old shifts for so long that you become accustomed to them, that you have ushered them in like new breezes, and they old. They worn out. It's wearing you out. Okay? It's about time that you get on the good foot, the good foot, the good foot, the good one, the great one. Get on the great path. Be the great. This is not a mystery. You know, it's not a mystery why you in the position that you're in. It's not a mystery to you. You already know that part. You just needed time to say, you know what? It's, I'm not going to do this. It just can't be done this way. And it can't be done this way. That's why you're being pushed in the direction that you are being pushed, because even the beings around you pretty much all get the feeling like you getting ready to change, and they starting to act weird, quote unquote weird, but weird in a good way, to get you to shift out of that old philosophy and that old thought that you have. Your ancestors are within you, yes, but it's time for you to awaken who you're supposed to be. So we have talked about intention and speaking. Actually, first of all, we talked about 3B's, which is the barriers, the bondage, and the blocks, and working your way to use them whichever direction you need, and not letting any of those block you from or hinder you from where you need to go. That we have moved into the speaking with intention and thought. You be very specific, because look, let me tell you something. There's a lot of ancient beings, ancient information that says that these beings before us, they did not speak loosely. They spoke with a strong tongue. They spoke with a strong force. they commanded that power. If you command that power and you, as you practice to start knowing and you practice this, I'm telling you, it's gonna work. It's not rocket science. Everyone around you they're gonna try and figure out how did you do it. That's all I'm telling you. They're gonna trying to figure out what did you do. And you're gonna be able to tell them, like, hey, this is what I did, this is where I'm at. And look, and if they don't like it, guess what? Oh well. It sucks for them. Like at this point, it's just like you just not have to care. So there it is there on that one. So and now we are onto the this is an old ancient topic or saying, and it's not only being said, you can go and look up the information. It's under Neteru. The Neteru, Neteru. It's under that information if you look it up. And what I'm about to tell you right now, since we speaking about speaking, it is the Jedai. Jedai. Or it's the Jedai. So there's two ways. And I'm going to tell you what both of those mean. Because if I'm going to tell you how to speak, if I'm going to tell you how to use or create a more correct position of assisting yourself to rising up, and then I have to give you some good root information that you can go and look up, that you can go and see for yourself that's been hidden from you. I must tell you some of the goings-ons here. And Jedai means way of the word. Let me repeat that. Jedai means way of the word. Okay. And the Jedai means the spoken word. Excuse me. So we own this part where we're speaking about your spoken word and the way of the word. So you got two parts. You got the way of the word, and then you got the spoken word. Do you know which one you're using? Do you know how to use it? Now, I just gave you some clues as to how to speak with intention and how to command and be in the power. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you speak this very weakly, look, guess what? It's not going down. It's not gonna go down because you speaking from a place of not being worthy and not knowing this. Just being in the nothing, or just the nothing of not knowing that. There you go. If you're just speaking from a way of just not knowing, I'm gonna tell you to practice. You need to practice, because if you're gonna use this, it's saying come with power. If you're gonna use this, you must know it's power. Your spoken words are powerful. Your unspoken words, we don't even want to get to those, because I'm gonna tell you right now, they can be even more. And thank you for the confirmation on that. Somebody just did fireworks over here. I'm just telling you right now, the way of the word or the spoken word. Now look, it's power of the words. Do you know that when you speak words, when you're speaking those, that is language? It is a language of light. It's like a frequency, right? So we're saying it's a frequency. It's going forth. It's going around. It's going through. It's going about. And you know that you've been wanting to speak this way. You know that you've been wanting to use this language. You know that you haven't been speaking this way because you've been told that if you speak this way, that's not gonna look good. You've been told that you need to get a new bag, and guess what? You are getting a new bag. This is the new bag. Learning to speak the way of the word. Learning to speak the word and be the word you speak. I'm just telling you. This is not rocket science. I'm telling you right now. It's not. It's just that it's just been so hidden so good that you would never know that it's right in front of you unless you stretch forth your hand. Look, stretching forth again. There we go. You stretch forth your hand and you gain your soul. You gain your life. You gain your words. You draw them back into you because that's where they came from. You learn and you understand and you know that these words are you and you are these words. You're never going to speak out of turn because it's about you. The love that you're giving yourself, the love that I'm speaking of right now, is important. And the song that's playing in the background a little bit, it's Afrodeity song. It's just playing on a repeat. A link, and the words that came out of there was, "I don't need your permission. I don't need your permission to be me. I don't need you to tell me how to be me. I need to tell me how to be me. I need to act on what's me. I know I look different to you, but I've been here this whole time and you haven't seen me because I've been on the old paradigm, the old shift, the old things that aren't for me. Those things are no longer for me. And it's about time that I come to knowing that I am the rhythm of what I do. You are the rhythm of what you do. You are the rhythm of what you speak. There is nothing else for you to do, but just know that. You are the rhythm of regeneration. Resynchronizing your brain, redoing your brain, regenerating your brain, regenerating your mind, regenerating your cells. This is the information that you are being given right now. This is the way of the word. This is the way of your spoken words. That you dissect yourself. That you dissect yourself enough to know your words, the way of your words, the spoken words. It's going to take a deep process, but I must tell you that it's going to be the best process you've ever made or done within your life. And you do that, and all the other things that are to come, they'll come to you. You only have to regenerate because you know it's time. Regenerating process will not take that long. Everything that's happening right now will not be that long of a process. I can just let you know that's a guarantee. This regeneration of your mind and of your cells is permanent. You're gonna make it permanent because what you're gonna be doing next in your path of life, it's gonna require that. It's going to require you to recycle your self, to be the rhythm of what you speak. You're going to have to be the rhythm of what you speak. You are making your brain become coherent to you. You're repositioning your brain, your mind to you. Your spirit knows this already. Your spirit understands this already. This is not a puzzle. This is not a mystery. You are going to go forward in this path of what I speak. You're in the right place. You're in the right place of life. You're in the exact point where the other beings, your soulfulness, your spirit, you're in exact alignment, and they're gonna shoot it to you because they know it's time. They know it's time for you to take your shot. They know it's time for you to be exactly where you are. So since you're infinite, since you know you're infinite, since you know this is the way of what's going on right now, walk in and be in faith of you. Faith in the power that you have within you. And I'm not just speaking physically, I'm speaking mentally. Redo that whole mental game. Redo, take out those things you don't need and reprogram your brain, reprogram your mind to be loving of you. And do not hold back. Do not hold back loving yourself. These words are well spoken. And I speak these spoken words because I know them very much. I know them to be truth. I know that I will be commanding many things from here on out. I know the way of the word. I am the Jedai that I speak. That Jedai is not just a Jedai. That's just the meaning of this language that I'm speaking. This frequency, this transmission has been for yours to take. Take as much as you need or leave as little as you need. The decision is yours. And I want to thank QEP for coming online during this transmission and coming up on the link. Much shouts out to you, QEP. I want to give a shout out to Miss Ty, give you a major big shout out, and tell you that, you know, whatever you heard, not just you, whatever anyone else heard that they needed to hear from a minute ago, it is here. If you need to go back and play this video, it is here. If you need to just come in and say, hey, it is here. And I do give consultations, readings, and sessions. I do all of that. You know, because this process right here is a very unique process in that once you get tuned in and tapped on, look, I know I'm sounding like a repeat, but once you get tuned in and tapped on, you're gonna know what I'm saying, and no one's gonna tell you. You're just gonna be so amped up about just knowing that you know that and you feel that you are that, and everything else won't at that moment will not mind what kind of berries, what rocks or anything. You could take them and use them. You could take some out. Thank you for the confirmation with that big boom in the back. You can take the ones out that you don't need. You can get rid of them. You can mold them, make them into what you need to be sturdy with, what you need for your sturdy rising. This what I'm speaking of. You know, you can do this so great to where you will be in total bliss. And bliss by so in a playful, loving, blissful way with yourself that no one that ever, it's, you know, people gonna think that you found you a new dude, and I'm gonna tell you, they gonna think you got a new man. They gonna think you dating, and I'm gonna tell you that you're gonna be like, whatever, you know, yeah, I got a new man, whatever. You ain't even gonna care about that. It's the point of you caring about how much you love yourself. That you just know that you are embarking upon the most time where you are wrapping your arms around you. You are loving you beyond degrees where you are not holding back. And when you don't hold back this love that I'm speaking of for self, and it's not the selfish one, it's the one that really is just digging deep and loving, it's a fire in you. The cells and the electricity that it gives you, nothing that you will encounter will do this. This will only come from you. Nothing will match this. Because it comes to a point where this is divine love. This is love for self. This is like the greatest love of all. And if you have love for self, you have love for all. How about that? You have love for self. You have love for all. This is the greatest adventure. Actually, it's the greatest blissful adventure you will arrive at. And I must tell you that no one is gonna like try to talk you out of it. They might even think you, man, they're not gonna know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You got all the right information. You got the best information. You got the most accurate information. It's about time you get started on the greatest adventure. So you can get to traveling and doing all the other stuff you want to do, all the other lifetime, all the other parts of life. This greatest adventure is man. Leave you speechless. You will be speechless. I guarantee you will be speechless by knowing who you are. So if you have listened to this transmission and you know that some of this is meant for you, proceed in the direction that you need. And I do have some old videos up on in this channel that do speak of this. This is only people right now because there's a lot of people that need to hear it in different ways. And I'm gonna make sure you get it in all the ways possible. Because I must tell you, there's nothing like knowing and coming from that, and knowing that you can start again at any point in time or any point in the right place. Because it's not about time anymore. It's about the space, the infinite of space. And right in the background, the song is saying, she pushing all the buttons. Look, hey, if you don't know that you can push all the buttons, man, you need to get on that good foot. That's the good foot to get on. So as I often say, enjoy your sun, your moon, and your stars, because you are these. You are those because that is where you're supposed to be. This is not for the being that is not ready, but it is for the one who's been seeking. It's for the one who's loving and wanting to be more than they ever know. It's for the one that's been asking and asking and saying, I don't know which way to go. For the one that's been asking and asking, and I don't know which way to go. It's for you. It's a shout out to you because you know what time it is. Because you have all the authority. You have all the intention. You have all the speakings of those words. You have all the things that are going forth. You have all the information. There's nothing else you need to know, but what you need to know is within you. The process. This process that I'm speaking of, it's a very to-do process. And it will not take you that long once you start. Okay? Once you start this process, there's no hesitation. The hesitation will end. The much love, the abundance, it's overflowing. It's ready. It's just at a pause for you. That you know that you are in the ready. You're in the knowing, and nothing will deter you. You have been given the power. You know the power. The power is within you. It is not a mystery. It's not. The mystery is that how long it took you to find out. That's the most of the mystery there is on this part. Everything else that's a mystery, you're gonna be able to figure out so uniquely, so fast. You're just gonna outdo yourself in the knowing. And as you do this and know that you are correct and that you are loved, that you can be given more keys than you ever know, that you have these keys and you just been hiding them because you thought somebody was gonna come and get them and take them from you because you've been giving them away. And now you know that's not happening. Now you are available to yourself. You're available to give yourself what you need. No one will ever come along and take anything that you don't give because you're not giving up nothing else. The power of you is within, and you are ready. And as I always say, enjoy your sun, your moon, and your stars because you are these. And I'm going to end this live. We've been on for 2 hours and 11 minutes. That's so funny. I'm going to end this live with some Afrodeity Stone. This is not my music. This is her music. You can check her out at Afrodeity Stone. You can purchase some of her music. She's on all the various types of ways to be on there. She has other services as well. So check her out. Afrodeity Stone is a major shout out to Afrodeity Stone at this point. And I want to thank everyone that came up and came through. And I want to also thank Smokers Lounge. I want to thank God is Supreme. I want to thank Brother King Nuth. I want to thank him for coming around and just saying, hey, what's up? And showing some support and giving some love. And the Smokers Lounge with Chris Cyphers at this point, yes. And, you know, man, enjoy because, you know, sometimes these bumpy rides are end up being your greatest adventures that have the other side of the the other side of the mountaintop is the other side of the mountaintops is on the other side when you go down. You'll know what I'm saying once you go through this. So I'm just gonna bid y'all a good night and follow me on YouTube, like, subscribe, or share any one of my videos. This video, if you would like. You can DM me for a session if you need to, or consult, or reading. But I am fully in a knowing and a loving mode, so I just want to tell you to go forward and step on your square. Play that square. No one should tell you how, when, or where, or who to play it. But if you feeling like I just said, like, hey, that's you, then that's you. That's what it needs to be right now. So I'm gonna end with there's one song of hers. If anything, I think it's Get On My Level is the perfect song. Because you're on a new level and everyone needs to get on your level. If they're not, oh well. And here we go.
Hear that? We don't take back chat from hear that? Me not take back chat from no gyal. Trust me. No worry about the no worry about the rumors them spreading. Believe me. Yeah. She going in though. She put a spin on. She spits some fire on the trash. She spits some fire on the trash. Fire on the trash. She want the hand down. How you balls in my court. Wanna shoot? Your arms is too short. Your arms is too short. It's too short. How does it feel when you got no flow? You know the digger was it. The block up. Bring on the something that got a young army. They get it when you get it when you get army. See you come with the get my running like it's church. Running like it's church. Running like it's church. This is the fire. This is the fire. This is the fire. This is the fire. Yeah. Yeah. Lose the chains. Lose the chains. Come on, break free. Don't you wanna go with me? Come on, break free. From Babylon mentality, come on, break free. Don't you wanna go with me? Come on, break free. Leave out of Babylon, lose the chains, and set the captive free. Release the pain, and take this burden from me. How long do you think you can away with this brutality in humanity? It's insanity. When you hear our plea, you won't listen to me. You're the angel I see. Come on, break free. Don't you wanna come with me? Come on, break free. From Babylon mentality. Come on, break free. Don't you wanna go with me? Come on, break free. The world is suffering, and it's like we can't see all the selfishness and indolence start to affect my cheek. I'm wondering if we are truly free in this matrix of life and its totality. Keep your eyes open for the things you don't see. This is the fire now. Bring the message unto thee. Come on, break free. Don't you wanna come with me? Come on, break free from Babylon mentality. Come on, break free. Don't you wanna come with me? Come on, break free. It's all coming to an end soon. 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 Come on, break free. wanna come with me? Break free. From nothing on the top. Break free. Wanna come with me? Break free. Come on to Father. We want to body love. Come on to body love. I am not asking your mission. I am not asking your permission. You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta go. You're too low, so low, you don't hear me though. You ain't playing, trying to drain all my energy. Well, I done told you you can come for me. Too high for you to get me down. Said I too high for you to get me down. Down, down. Be gone, down. Try to be gone. Be gone, that's right to be gone. Gone. I said my ancestors did it for me. You need it, but you don't get no trouble. I'm playing kid rubbish. I thought I told you not to come for this. I remember back in the 1990s, we were rocking cane balls and Adidas with shell toes, and everybody knew LL wanted to be bad. Then Biggie got shot, and all that shit happened with Tupac. Meanwhile, I was somewhere getting supersonic with JJ Fad. I was still young, still up and coming, and I had all that wild streak up in. Prince said, party like it's 1999, and me and my partners were smoking weed like we was out of our minds. That's when the year 2000 was coming in, when the 90s had to go, and I was stomping through South Carolina, dropping spoken word like, where did the 90s go? Give it up for Lioness. Then I would take the stage. Said I would take the stage and pay homage to my ancestors. Then I would head back to my crib and listen to some Bob Marley or some Burning Spear or some Sister Nancy. Bam, bam. Then I was on my way through the VA and they was getting money out there. I remember that night I was spitting poetry at Shadows and Allen Iverson gave me a standing ovation. Yeah, a lot of celebrities got my shit in heavy rotation. Poetry spitting, reggae chanting, sweet singing, fire breathing, liar. And I ain't lying. So I'm out in VA, right? Poetry slam, doing reggae shows, bumping elbows with them Molly boys, Sizzler, Capleton, being in my Antonio, Yellowman, and Lincoln, granulated sugar miners. See, I've been around, I ain't new to this. I could have had the radio 10 times over. I'm not here to make a deal with my rocket. They doing lines, lining up with punchlines. One of them rap that'll do sick mind. Or I will say, boy, I ain't a rapper, I just rap a lot. Somebody said, hey, she like somebody's grandma. Sit down, granny. Sit down, granny. Bitch, you sit down. I ain't watching granny days. I'm like Dick. Let's get a secret. My style, like when I said coming back to your furniture. You can't keep it. That good green, cheap it. You haters coming from a mile away, keep it. You in the twilight zone. I'm home alone. But even Macaulay Culkin won't stop till he get enough of this thriller. I'm the bad vibe killer. I'm locked and loaded with a lot of old goons, cause his chopper clears the path. You do the math. That's your body, minus your head. Like a zombie chicken walking dead. I thought I told you my ancestors was warriors, but they didn't come to play. They came to slay. Butts in the ashtray, smoked. True identity cloaked. Moving like anonymous. These lyrics are autonomous. I thought I told you. I thought I told you. I thought I told you. Hey, said I tried for you to get me down. Said I tried for you to get me down. Said I tried for you to get me down.